We go. Hi, everybody.
I'm switching.
Hello.
Hi, welcome back to SPTV Live Sunday night from the UK with Jeff, Apostate Alex, and Amy Scovey. How are you doing?
Hey. Hi, I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Good. I totally lost my voice, but we're gonna crack on anyway.
Yep. Didn't stop you today, that's for sure.
Oh man, I'm so excited to get the debrief for today. Thank you for inviting me to come back on today. It's my honor to do so, even though I have hat hair, wearing a hat all day today. So yeah.
No, thank you
And
for
so,
joining us. You know, we were kind of
yes.
on our way back today, and we're like, so much has happened today. We like this is going to be the best, most fun recap, I think, of the whole 3 days, because it was such an eventful day. And I was like, after having you on yesterday, it was really nice to have you on and like talk about it. So I thought, let's have you back on as well again today, because I think it's really cool to have the support from around the world, right?
Oh yeah, you definitely have my support, my husband's support, and so many in the SPTV community, and we're really excited to hear the whole thing. So yeah, thank you again for having me here. And I see that there's a lot of people in the chat from all over the place. You want me to pop a few up here?
Yeah, go for it. I just said Chicago there. I just saw,
Chicago.
but you take over. Go for it.
Pennsylvania.
Okay,
Hey.
Pennsylvania. Oh, I'm now I'm like backlogged. I don't have a bunch ready yet. It's Jeff T. Oh my God. Here we go. Yes, we are going.
Hi, Nancy. Hi.
Go. You know, these two were dancing in the background as that intro video was playing.
Three.
Yes.
Such a good little song.
They have such an awesome little dance there. This is everybody from Melbourne, Australia.
Jealous of those 28 degrees.
Oh,
wow.
Positively tropical in comparison to the weather here.
Absolutely tropical.
Oh, we got some people from BC. And my wife is in the chat as well. Hello, love.
Oh, is she? Oh, yes. I saw her do a video. You have a lovely wife. Absolutely.
I do.
Yes.
And she's not getting him back.
Hey,
I'm keeping him. He's mine.
He's locked the door.
Thank you.
Cheerio. Oh, sweet.
Cheerio. Yes, thank you. I'm quickly finding another one to get that off the screen. Let's see. Victoria.
Australia. Hello, Rosie.
Okay, well, everyone, thank you. Ontario, Canada, here we go.
Canada represents.
Yes.
Danielle Chamberlain here. I've just seen one. She said earlier, wonder how your voice is on today, Jeff and Alex.
Right.
Well, Danielle, I did a lot of shouting today.
Yes. We got Toronto. We got North Carolina. We've got,
Mississippi, Milwaukee.
Mississippi. My clicker is going crazy here.
Oklahoma. Vancouver. Sharon
BC.
Bliss. Nice.
Yay.
Look at that.
That's all over the world.
And here's Washington State. That's where I grew up.
Nice.
Hamburg, Germany, Netherlands. Wow. Oh, we have people from all over the world here.
Yes, this is amazing.
Yes, Liverpool.
So cool.
Okay, well, I'm going to stop clicking and listen to you guys.
So today was eventful. I mean, we always thought, so today was the charity gala, right? So the whole point is safe pointing. The whole point is to put on a good show for the local residents. It's meant to be a community event. You know, they're trying to raise money for local charities. The Mayor's charity is one of them. Then there's Age UK, I think, was another. You know, local kind of groups and support. They want to show their support and say, hey, look how great we are. You know, the event was emceed by Jenna Elfman, and they brought out all of the big celebrities that they could find. They want to basically make a good impact and say to the local community that Scientology is here and it's good. And I don't know if the event was cancelled or if just nobody went, because it was the quietest day I've ever seen at an IAS like day event at St. Hill. Nobody was there. There was no traffic on the road, a handful of cars. The car park was not even close to being half filled up. There was no into the gate. And we were like, what is going on? And so there was that element as well. But the main thing is, on our way in today, we went past the stables entrance, which is down the road, kind of round the corner. We've not been protesting out there. And I saw one of the big banners, you know, when they do like an Ideal Org opening, they have like a big rosette and a thing. And I was like, they're doing an opening because I think it was 2019. They opened the new Qual building, which is like a £5 million project. They built this new building, and it's just they've been using it, but it hasn't been officially opened. And I was like, no way, they're opening that today. Wow. So I went straight down there as soon as we kind of set up the protest just to have a look, and everybody was there. There were like maybe 150, 200 max people standing outside. And there's a really good view from the road because it's in a dip. So from the road, you can see right down. And along every little gap in the trees, there were like people with their big umbrellas to prevent you. But like there was no one there, and I don't think they were expecting us other than just having those little things in place. Because I went down there with one other person, and they were kind of quite surprised to see us. And I realized this is a really good opportunity to make some noise, because there's no way they can stop those people from hearing us from the road because it's open. And so I trotted up to like the little main driveway area, and I saw Janet Laveau standing there. So I can confirm Janet is not in the RPF
yet. Okay.
And I was like, oh my God, Janet, hi, Janet. And she turned around and you could see her face just drop. She was like, oh no, they're here. Because you've got to remember, there hasn't been a protest on the third day, like ever, as far as I'm aware. So I don't think they were really expecting it. Certainly not down there. And so she turned around, her face dropped, and I was like, Janet, I'm glad you're okay. You know, I just was worried you were on the RPF, so I'm glad you're here. And then just started shouting because I knew that there was a bit of distance, but there's nothing to stop. So I was like, you know, stop the abuse and, Scientology, all of this. And everybody turned around because they were like, what is going on? Like, I would estimate 70% of the crowd that were there turned around and looked at me, and I was like kicking up a big fuss. And so I was then trying to get on the phone and get everyone else down there, and I just kept going. And I was like, look, I'm losing my voice, but this is worth it. I'm gonna like be in pain in my throat for this, because this is the closest contact we've had with the whole group of them where we can make some significant noise. So that's what we did, and OSA were fuming.
I am sure they didn't expect you there. I mean, they had their little umbrellas up, but that didn't do it.
No, the thing is, like,
you were able with
we had the stick of truth
that
our phones were attached to, and we could just lift it over them.
That was so funny, because they were there with their like umbrellas, and I was like, guys, I feel kind of bad for you because you've been told to stand here to block our view, and I'm defeating you with a simple selfie stick. I put my phone on. I can just hold it above your umbrellas. Like, really, guys? And they kind of found that funny. They were laughing a little bit, and I think they could see the stupidity of it. But it was great.
Very stupid. So
we did get some laughs from the OSA people today, little smirks and so forth, and had some conversations. I got to talk with Graham, the CEO OSA UK now.
Oh right? Graham Wilson was there.
Right? Out front the gates, and you guys could on my stream, you could see me actually trying to have a conversation with him. It didn't get too far.
I didn't know who that was. I did see that you were talking with someone, but I didn't know that was him.
Yeah, he's CEO OSA UK. So he's like any news article or anything. Like, he's the guy that wrote the statement saying, I was only in for 2 to 3 weeks. I'm a nobody. I'm part of a hate group online. That was him. So when I saw him, I was like, hi, Graham. Oh, so good to see you. I hope you're well. Are you having a good time? And he just like deadpan, just like really steel eyes looking at me. And I was like, you look great. You look a bit cold, because he was like kind of shivering a bit. And I was like, do you want to borrow a jumper? He was not happy. You actually got
Jeff, you got to tell him part of your story, right?
Yeah, I did. And I told him part of my story, and he listened, and I found out that he was from Scotland, which was nice to know. I was just trying to have a conversation with the guy, and I got a little bit of information, but obviously they're trained to not say anything, because I don't know, if they communicate with us, something happens, I guess.
They might get infected with our BTs.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what it is, but something must happen, because they all don't want to talk to us.
Well, they'll get interrogated. They'll be put on the e-meter and be asked, what did you say? What did they say? What did you say? What did they say?
Yeah, I guess so.
And if they said anything, then they're going to get in trouble. So,
well, I tell you what, a lot of them did say things today, so I think some people are going to be sent into the room with the cans for sure.
Yeah, there was the one OSA guy when we were down the bottom, like with the opening of the new building. There was an OSA guy that he like to begin with actually started talking to us for a little bit, and we were like, "Are you Sea Org? Are you private security?"
He's both,
and he said, "I'm both." I'm like, what? Okay. Are you OSA?
Yeah.
And he actually engaged in a conversation with us. And
I gave him a card.
Yeah, we gave him an Aftermath card and he took it.
Yeah.
He actually
read it and took it.
He didn't try and give it back or he put it in his pocket. And for me, I was like, oh, wow. And he was asking questions in a way that I was like, if he, like most OSA people we've come across over the weekend would just like not respond, not talk to us, or if they did, they kind of say a mean thing, or like they wouldn't engage in a conversation. Whereas he was actually asking questions, and we were saying, "Yeah, no, look, this is what happened to me. This is what happened to Jeff." I was throwing in as many names as I could of people I knew from St. Hill, just to try and back up that I'm not just some random guy that's talking rubbish. Like I'm trying to see if he knew anyone or whatever, so that he could maybe find a connection there or something that he'd relate to. And he was like listening, and he was like, "Wow, really?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then we had a really decent conversation. He took the Aftermath card, put it in his pocket, and then as soon as his buddy showed up, like another OSA guy, he completely changed and instantly went into that like steel-faced OSA op thing. Oh, yeah. So it just showed that like people are willing to listen, and as soon as they have to be behaving how the church wants them to behave, they're a different person completely.
That gentleman was the security chief when I was in the SO. This is SP Chef. So there we go. Yeah, it's not surprising. And so there was the ninja as well.
Oh, yeah.
So we were coming down to the area where all the OSA guys were, and we could see the event. And there was this guy with like a full, as you guys probably saw if you saw the stream, with a full covering. All you could see his eyes and a little bit of his nose, all dressed in black and wellies. And he's just standing there filming us. And so I thought, oh.
But he was there like the whole day from the moment we got the OSA operation today was so much stronger than it has been. Like the last couple of days, there's been a little bit and there's been a bit of filming, but not masses. Whereas today, like everywhere we went, the whole day, there was at least one person proper filming us like you would expect to see normally.
Right.
So, but they were out full force today.
Yeah. And so I just decided I wanted to go see.
Oh my God.
So one thing I know you probably know, a rite of passage for any suppressive person is the amazing cam back. And so if you get that cam back, you know that you've truly made it and you're in OSA's book. And I got mine today. And we're going to show a video of that.
Yes.
Shortly here.
It's actually hilarious. So we'll show first. Should we show yours first, and then we'll show mine because mine's only a few seconds. So this is from Jeff's stream. Can you guys see that? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I can. I don't know if everybody else can.
Is it up on the screen? Yeah. Okay. All right. So it's just a few seconds, just so you get any idea.
Yeah.
Do you work for OSA? You know
Classic.
what, guys? This is exciting. This is my first cam back. It's all very exciting. Hi. You can subscribe. PTS for life. This is Alex. This is Apostate Alex. That's a really cool ring.
Guys, I don't know if you can see and hear this.
Everyone's saying hello to you, by the way.
Oh, and the best bit, right? This is what's coming up. I find really funny is Jeff was like, if you turn your phone sideways, right, and do landscape, you can get more in the picture. Like turn your phone. It's better to do landscape. And what was so
school
funny,
him, Jeff.
You can see though, he actually thinks about it for a second. He like hesitates and he's about to do it, and then he goes, "No, I can't."
Yeah,
like,
watch him carefully.
Watch him think about it.
So I have 284 people currently watching. It'll probably go up to 1,000. But hello. Hey, do you like my t-shirt? Potential trouble source. That's me. There you go.
Oh, they say hold it sideways. You can get a better picture.
Yeah, if you genuine tip, landscape.
Yeah, honestly, like ours. Like nobody likes portrait mode. Nobody likes.
He thought about it for a second.
Go find Janet.
We can go see Janet. Yeah.
See you in a minute.
We'll be back. Don't worry.
So that was from your angle.
Yeah.
Boy, he didn't want his face shown at all.
No,
he was
and
just
so
using it as a blockade to his face,
yeah,
as well as his
now
mask.
so we have found out, we think who he is. I got an email from somebody who recognizes him. He was
Okay.
wearing a Greenfields jacket. And so I had shown that, and it looks like he is someone that he works at Greenfields as a headmaster or something like that.
Yeah.
So
Greenfields being the Scientology school here, like Delphi, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, someone recognized him. We found out who he was. But he was following us for the whole day. Like everywhere we went, he was only a couple of meters behind us the whole day filming. Even when we like returned and we were going to the car, like he followed us to the car in the car park and like filmed us, and like typical. But this is all stuff that we expected. But like it hasn't really happened much over the last few days. So it's all very exciting.
Right.
But I was in hysterics, right? Can I show the same thing from my view? It's only a few seconds.
Yes.
Keep an eye on Alex's face.
Oh my god, I was in hysterics. Is it this one here? I think it's this one.
This is my first comeback. It's all very exciting. If you would like to
Look at you, giddy.
This is Alex. This is Apostate Alex. Guys, I don't know if you can see and hear this. Everyone's saying hello to you, by the way.
Okay,
Who's that guy?
and that guy there, his name's Gaz. He's lovely. He is security for Scientology. And which one?
Oh, sorry, no, I just never mind.
Okay, sorry. So he's private security for Scientology. It's hired just for this event, and they are really, really lovely people. But they're Scientology security, so they're like really happy to like help us, and they were kind of dealing with Janet Laveau screaming down their ears all the time and like trying to keep the peace. But he today was 100% assigned to follow me personally, because literally if I crossed the road, he crossed with me, and then I crossed back and he crossed with me. Even when there was the group doing one thing and I was off doing something else, he would follow me and leave the group with no security there. And I kind of joked with him. I was like, you're just following me today, aren't you? And he was like, yeah, you're my target today. And I thought he was joking, but then as I was like, no, he totally was. I was seen as a threat, and they've been told to follow me, which I thought was
a little late, but
on day 3.
It's ridiculous.
And Mr. Ninja face, with the he's the headmaster of a school. I mean,
How headmaster, but it said we found out somewhere a link to Greenfields, like something to do with him working at Greenfields. He was definitely wearing a Greenfields like jacket,
and that's how I kind of found out. And then
such a cheery person to be working with children.
I know, right?
No,
but yeah, we'll find out and we'll do a report on it, I'm sure. If it's not easy to find, but I think today was just wild, because they weren't expecting us down at the bottom of the hill, and as soon as I started shouting, they like went into panic mode, and suddenly out of nowhere a bunch of people just showed up and then put their like big umbrellas up and tried to like restrict the view. And I knew that would happen, but I was just shouting at the top of my lungs, and then they started playing music really loud, and I was like, okay, that's fine. So as soon as the song changed in that like 2-5 second gap or whatever between the song, that's when I was like, shout, and there's nothing they can do to stop it. And then I heard Erin Banks's voice. So Erin Banks, the spokesperson of Scientology over in the States, came over and she took to the stage and started speaking to open the new Qual building. And I was like, this is my chance. So I just started shouting as much as I can, because they can't put music on to drown us out while she's on stage speaking.
No.
And there's no way that wasn't picked up on their microphone. So it'll be very interesting to see if they release a video, and if they do, if we listen carefully, if they've tried to like dub the sound out, because every moment of silence there was us screaming and shouting, and we 100% would have been heard. We weren't that far away from them at all.
No, I saw how close you were. You were like right there, and there's no way that would have been drowned out. And what they would have to do if they were going to export it is recreate the event.
Like they could maybe refilm just Erin's part, like maybe tomorrow or something, get her to go up on stage and film the whole thing, her giving the speech again. That's the only way they're going to be able to do it, because There's no way. They had like 2 or 3 drones I noticed in the air at the time. One of them was definitely filming the event, but the other 2 100% were watching us the whole time.
Yeah. And I love that comment here by Nilla where she said, no one's afraid of being filmed anymore. And I kept telling them, I'm like, I'm on YouTube. Like, you can just get stuff off YouTube. Grab it. If you want to know who I am, I'm putting it all out there. So that's one thing I don't fully get. And I guess it's to put on the eventual hate website that they will make about myself or Alex or whoever else is doing it, right?
Yeah, it's that, and it's, they have to appear very formidable so that people won't join you in the effort to, stand up against them. And it is a brave thing to do because you get all kinds of fun attacks, just take it from me. Me and my bikini pictures that they stretch out like this, okay, I don't have the nicest body. So what am I supposed to do? Does that mean that what I'm saying isn't true? No, David Miscavige, you beat people. I saw it. And so did a lot of other people. So screw you and your stupid, sneaky bikini pics from my backyard as they dump 2 dead rats in my swimming pool.
That's mad. They'll definitely try and find, like, because we were so in their face in those videos, they can definitely find a clip, like just a frame from any point in that video where I'm like, screaming right. That's what they're going to use because it makes me look, all they need is that one frame from the whole video.
But then you have to realize that the only people who are looking at this site are people that we don't really give a shit about anyway.
It's for them. It's for them. It's their internal, got to do something about it. OSA's being beat over the head to do something about the bad SPs, otherwise they're going to go to the RPF.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Erica Headland on Greenfield School webpage looks like he might be the executive head.
Yeah.
So it's true.
If that is him. Now, we're not 100% sure because this is just a tip that someone believes it's him. It hasn't been confirmed. But based on his eyes and his nose, because I was right up there for a long time. I saw him many times, and it just screams him. So.
Yeah.
There's a really good comment here. Jane Post, Queen SP, you are beautiful, and what that evil man says means nothing.
I think the important thing about I think the important thing about these informations about who these people are and everything is just shows that there are leaks everywhere, and people who are watching this, who are still in and involved, are feeding all this information, and it's important for OSA to know that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about any of the footage that they got of you because you were there making your voice heard and standing up against the abuse. Your signs were all extremely clear of what your point was, and they're all really good points. So I wouldn't worry. They're going to dig into this and dig into your folders and try to find anything to make people think that, you're not a credible person. But I'm just telling you, people are used to those tactics, and there's only weak-minded in uninformed people would even consider something that they said, to be true. It's not.
What I found today was this is the first time that the clip I'm going to show you in a second was like the first physical altercation I've ever had with Scientology, right? Like I've had people following me and all this sort of stuff, but I've never had like a face-to-face cam on cam thing like you. Like this was the first time I came face-to-face with OSA and they were actively trying to, destroy me, if you like. And it was like, I thought I would be really good, have my TRs in and kill them with kindness, but just something, I don't know, happened. I was like, and I wanted to do the Tommy Davis thing. I wanted to be like, I'm angry, real angry. But I didn't. It just took over because it did really, like, I just had all this emotion come up. And I think in the moment I was like, oh my God, this is like the first time I can actually voice all of that, like anger and upset and all of those emotions that I've had to the people who are doing that and caused that. And
Good point.
I just went for it, and I was like, I don't care if I destroy my voice. I'm just gonna like scream from the top of my lungs. There's dozens of OSA people here. There's Janet Laveau, who's the managing director of Scientology UK, Graham Wilson, the head of OSA, and a bunch of other executives, and Erin Banks, the spokesperson for Scientology. It was down there giving a speech. Like, this is my chance for my actual voice to be physically heard. So I just went for it. And it was really, really like relieving to, like, afterwards, I was like, all the adrenaline and everything. I was like, wow, like, so I felt like I got a lot off my chest, you know?
Good. Oh, that's so good. I want to see that. You got it all on video, I hope?
Yeah. So what happened was the edge of their property is a really kind of gray area as to where their property ends and where we can stand. And Stephen Jones was with us, who is a very well-known British former Scientologist that's been speaking out for years. He actually did a dawn raid of the IAS event a few years ago and like broke in like as the sun was rising, and it's all on YouTube, and like managed to get right up to the castle one year. And he's like a big SP and he lives quite locally, and he came along to help us out, and he was with us. And basically the two of us and Jeff and a couple of others that were there got into a bit of an altercation around like what we can, whether we're on their land or whether we're not. And the police called for backup, and they got like a big van, and there were like there's loads of police officers there. And OSA were just really, really like aggressive in terms of like trying to disrupt us. And I think there was a point where he actually, you'll see in the video, one of the OSA guys pushed Stephen into the road, and there was a car coming past on the other side of the road.
A truck.
However, like, if he'd have fallen over, if he'd have tripped, he would have hit the car. And it was really dangerous. And the police were standing there, and they were like, well, you know, it's a civil matter, land trespassing. We can't really do anything. We just want to keep the peace. And as soon as that happened, they did kind of just try and break us up and say, right, Alex, come over here and all of this. But I just wanted to give you guys an image, a visual, I suppose, on what actually went down. It's only a few seconds, and it is a little bit shouty and screamy, but here we go.
This is public land.
So that's the OSA guy there, and that's Stephen Jones behind in a high vis.
You're the one pushing him into the road, mate. No, it's not fine for someone to stand in the road. This is public land.
Stop filming me and just move over.
This is public land. Do not touch me. Do not touch me. You do not. Yeah, but I'm not on the property. This is public land.
Yes.
This is public land.
Excuse me. Excuse me. This person is pushing something.
Can we just move onto the road?
I'm not moving
Alex, can you just back up? Are you telling us to stand on the road?
This is just stand there. Over there is fine. We can talk about it.
It's clearly not.
Yeah, I'm
safe for us to
listening.
stand on the
I'm willing
road.
to listen. I'm okay. But
This is public land.
This is a public right.
This is
Do you want me to? I've got the map on my phone.
You know exactly what.
And then I get the map out on my phone, so I had to stop the stream. But like, you can see how they were pushing us right up to the edge of the road, and literally like pushing us. An excellent shot of my bald patch, but I was like, do not touch me, like, do not touch me. But like, it was the first time he was like right up in my face, and I was like, wow, I've not experienced this before. And I know it's going to be the first of many times, but just in the moment, I didn't know how I was going to react. It was wild. Yeah. What was your perspective?
Well, so I was filming the whole thing as it was happening, as you saw in my stream. And it was just like that when that van went by and Stephen was like falling it off the curb into the road. I just thought, holy shit, this is getting real, right? Because they were so angry, and they had no right to be. Obviously, they had no right to touch them in any time. There's a police officer right there. I was kind of disgusted, actually, that the police officer didn't stop OSA from shoving both Stephen and Alex. And in fact, Stephen Jones, who's the gentleman there that was pushed in, was, as you can see from my footage, was stopping Alex from being pushed.
Stephen was great.
He went right in.
Oh, is that what he
It was
jumped
amazing.
in between me and the OSA guy. And like, I need to talk to him after this, because we saw him at the pub afterwards, but I hadn't watched the footage back. I didn't realize he stepped in between us, bless him. And like, that was just the nicest thing for him to do, because he could see I was like getting a bit angry. But also the TRs just snapped in. Like, I was just like, do not touch me. Do not touch me. It was really scary afterwards. I was like, wow, it just clicked back in. But it was kind of helpful in the moment, because instead of getting angry and, you know, like fighting or whatever, it was just, it's definitely a physical altercation. They were really angry about us being there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
they're
like,
okay. They're being screamed at and threatened with everything known to man and God, and that you handled it extremely well, Alex, and also Jeff, and also realize that they try to prompt you to do something, like,
mhm.
because then you have done something and you have to be carted away. So that you didn't get into that at all, but just used your voice. That's perfect. Totally
Yeah, and
perfect.
there was points like earlier and after when I was conversing with those two OSA SPs, and they were obviously trying to goad me. They started insulting me and kind of implying things, and
Mhm.
being involved, like watching SBTV and also being involved in OSA tactics myself, I know exactly what they're doing. They're bull
Right.
baiting me, and I've
Mhm.
done so many TRs. I just don't react, right? If I don't want to
Yeah.
react, I don't react.
They
So,
forget.
and I
They
and I
forget that you've
told
done
him,
their robotic TRs.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I told them, I said, I know
Mm.
what you're doing. And then I just completely shifted my attention away from them because they were trying to get me to pay more attention to them than other things,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right?
Like, they
That's what
didn't
I
want
noticed. They
yes,
didn't
they
want me
did not
filming.
want
Yeah.
their
And the
event to be
moment, like,
destroyed.
yeah, I realized very quickly that the moment they were trying to engage us in conversation, I was like, they're doing this because they don't want us shouting. And
Yeah.
I just said
Yeah.
that. And I just, from that point onwards, I didn't stop screaming. I just started shouting
Right.
at the top of my voice because I was like, you are not going to engage in a conversation with me so that it doesn't disrupt the event.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
like,
right.
I'm just going to go, go, go. And that really annoyed them.
Yeah.
You
Really, really.
keeping your eye on that mountain, Alex, that was perfect. Absolutely
Mm.
perfect.
I will tell you today, I was talking to my wife afterwards when we were at the pub, and I actually started crying a little bit because I realized that today was the first day that I really realized that I can stand up to them.
Mm.
It's one thing to say something on the internet, but to be
Yeah.
face to face with this
Yep.
person who's trying to stop you and
Mhm.
suppress you,
Mhm.
for lack of a better word,
Yeah.
to shut you down.
Mhm.
And like all these emotions that I was feeling, I realized that by doing this, I'm taking back power. I wasn't actually sure how I would respond.
Mm.
And
Right.
it was so empowering to know that when I was faced with this, I could stay calm and just stand up for myself.
Yeah.
And it was
Yep.
like such a moment of pride, and
Wow.
motivation to do more. So
That is
pretty happy.
so amazing. That is so amazing. I'm
It's the
really
first
proud of
time
you
I've had
guys.
to do it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
thank you,
It
Danielle.
is. It is completely awesome. It really is.
But they're not
And it's
used to
not
it.
easy. It's not easy. No, they're not. And it's like they don't have one single good intention toward you.
No.
And it's it's evil. You're confronting evil. You're
Mhm.
confronting and shattering suppression.
Yeah.
um, but for real, and you're standing up, but you have the truth on your side, and you have good intentions, which is to warn people of a destructive, abusive cult. And they're $1 billion from, supposedly they have billions of dollars. It's mainly all in assets, but they're $1 billion cult that just is destructive and destroys people's lives, on a daily basis. So, yeah.
I think it's just, for me, it's like, I don't know if you feel the same, but we're very aware of how OSA operate, what they do. Like, nothing that happened today is anything that's surprising of like, oh my God, they did this. Like, they're known for this. We've spent
Yeah.
years watching it online, hearing stories, but it's a very different thing to like come across it personally
Yeah.
when you're
Yeah.
the one in the video having that being done to you. And it was really, because obviously we've done lots of preparation and we had prepared for it. We know it's going to happen, but when it actually does happen, it's a really weird sense of like, you are not going to silence me. It made me want to like
Oh,
fight
yeah.
harder. It's like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
can push me all you want and you can try and put your umbrellas up and you can play loud music. I'm just going to shout louder. And I don't care if I lose my voice. It like really fueled that in me. And like you say, it's the first time I've been able to we've both been able to stand up and actually like say it in person and make a stand and stand up to those people that are trying to destroy our lives, which is literally
That's
their
exactly right. So I got to
Yeah.
tell you something that Matt said. My husband,
Oh.
Matt, for anybody who's watching and doesn't know who Matt
Hi,
is.
Matt. We love Matt. Matt's
Hi, Matt.
awesome.
He's the King Bee SP. He said, after seeing everything that you guys have done and everything like that, he already told you guys have big balls. But so it's not that's already a done deal. But he said that you guys need to be awarded Kakan.
Yes.
Yes.
Us and John Travolta, right?
Yeah. So it says in ancient armies, a particularly brave deed was recognized by an award of the title Kakan, who are forgiven the death penalties 10 times in the future if they ever did anything wrong anyway. That's what Matt said. He also was like,
Awesome.
next time we need to go to England too. But anyway, so we'll see
Yeah.
whatever's going on.
Next
But
year.
yeah, so you have
Absolutely.
a cheerleader back here too, boy. It's so
Well,
good.
thank you. Thank you,
We're
Matt.
definitely
Yeah.
Yes, I wanted to relay that because yeah, you have a lot of support, and look at all these people in the chat too. You guys,
Yeah.
It's
you
huge.
know, and I know what you mean. I gotta just I'll relay something. You know, I've got 18 years of attacks by Scientology because I've been speaking out since I left. I left 20 years ago, but I was under the radar, and then I started speaking out once they stole my mom from me. But so at one point, they had like sometimes 3, private investigators on us at a time, tailing us everywhere we went, like little bees, not bees because bees are good, right? Like little rats.
Yeah. That's better.
And
Yeah.
I had such a knowing, like I would get this like feeling up the back of my neck, and I go, there's a PI, and I would turn and look, and it would be somebody, and then we would try to lose them. They would chase us, wild chases. Matt got into it. I'm like, get me out of this car, but yeah, so wild goose chases. They would do all kinds of terrible things. They had, I don't know if you ever saw the video that I had where one of the private investigators came forward, and I did an interview with them on my channel, and
No.
her name is Alana Warren, and they had a camera trained inside my home at all times, right into my house. They rented that house condo directly under us to see if they could hear up into our apartment. They put trackers on our vehicles. They every single thing. They went through our garbage. We knew that we were putting different notes in the garbage, but it was just intense. And what they did, they followed us every single place. They put friends on us, to deceive us and to, anyway, it goes on and on. But anyway, so I've been through it, all the different kinds of ways you can imagine. And it didn't work to silence me. And I'm so proud that you guys stood up to their harassment today and all 3 days, and it didn't silence you at all.
It just made me more motivated.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think also it highlighted how bad they are at their jobs, because firstly, they weren't expecting us anyway. They weren't expecting us yesterday. They certainly weren't expecting us today. And they weren't expecting us to show up down the bottom by the stables to disrupt the event, because there are things that they could have done to prevent us seeing the event, prevent us being heard. They could have put the crowd in a different place. They could have put barriers up that were slightly taller, like all of the things that they have done before. Like, this just goes to show that they weren't expecting us to show up, because we were so easily like it was so easy for us to make a scene. And I think that just showed to me that we're just one step ahead of them, and they're always playing chase and playing catch up. The fact that Graham Wilson and Janet Laveau were there, and like they clearly were like, there was a flurry of like, oh my God, what do we do? Let's play some music. But then the music had pauses in it. So obviously we're going to just talk in there. And then when Erin Banks started speaking, it's like, well, we're just going to shout over her because the people are just there and they can hear it. Like, they didn't realize or expect us to be there and for us to be able to make such a racket, even though the whole group wasn't up. The whole group were up by the main gate. It was only a handful of us down there at the bottom, and they just went to diversion distraction tactics by trying to get us into this physical altercation. So we just kind of rose above it. But for me, it was like today I think they realized that we are one step ahead of them, because they followed us with OSA cameras like the whole day, which they didn't do so much yesterday or the day before. They followed us to the car park. Pretty sure there was someone filming us as we got out. at the pub, like afterwards. They are today, I think they've realized how much of a threat we really are, because David Miscavige was yelling at Janet Laveau on Friday. She was nowhere to be seen yesterday. It was a smaller protest. And today we kicked up at the biggest, like we made the biggest scene. I think David Miscavige is having a real hissy fit because we caused massive disruption. And I think it was really telling that he wasn't there to open the Qual building, right? I know that the Qual building, like, for example, the National Affairs Office in Ireland, when that was opened, Erin Banks did the event for that. David Miscavige didn't fly over for it. So it's not unusual for her to open like an internal building, like a Qual building. However, if he's here in the UK at St. Hill, having just delivered the event on Friday, why wouldn't he be the one to open the Qual building? And I only have
by the road.
I have two theories. Number one, he was meant to, but because we started shouting just before he was due to come on stage, he sent Erin instead. Or alternatively, he wasn't there. He flew out yesterday to get out of the country and wasn't meant to be here anyway. Yeah. But either way, we've caused enough disruption that they've changed their plans, which I just think is a win, right?
Yes.
The whole 3 days they had to change up their plans because of you guys. I mean, do you have those pictures of the cars that just go back for, I don't know how far they go back? They couldn't get into the event. And
oh my goodness. That's what I was reporting on mostly. And the locals were so pissed off. Like you'd hear them rip past once they had a chance to go by. There was so much traffic. This is a 2-lane, very narrow, with basically no shoulder road where you can barely pass 2 cars along, and it's just endless.
I'm just trying. I was just trying to get it up here so I can share. It's nighttime, so you can't really see that well. But this is the video of us driving past. See if I can mute it here. Or it's going to be quite laggy because it's not downloaded. But you can see like it's traffic for miles.
Right. Yeah.
Like all the way down the road, down this country lane.
I think one of the locals said he was waiting in traffic for about 45 minutes to get to the point where he could pass.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
The event on Friday definitely started late. Sorry, Amy, what were you going to say?
Yeah, I was just going to say, so it must have started really late because also, did you see that Mike Rinder had a couple inside photos?
Yes,
of the event?
We've been sent a couple. I've actually got a video from inside the IAS event and inside the patrons ball. I posted it on my Twitter. See if it will let me share my screen. I can show it on here. But someone posted onto Instagram, I think it was. And it just looks really small. Like, let me see if I can. It's really it doesn't look like there's lots and lots of people there. It looks like very empty. Can you guys see this? I'm going to zoom in. Hold on. There you go. Can you see that?
Yeah.
So let me press play. So he's obviously like halfway down the tent, but this guy is a staff member, and normally
there's no seats filled up there.
Yeah, like look, you can see all of the rows of seats and how empty they are at the front. Yeah. But also staff they don't get priority seats. Like the priority people, like celebrities, big donors, get all the front seats, and staff usually are right at the back of the tent. So the fact that the staff were here so close to the stage, because they're not going to put staff in front of paying public and patrons and so on. So like this just shows that it was a really not a busy event. And obviously I spoke to this guy. I thought he was French or Italian, but he said there was less people there than in 1984, and there are only 1,500 people there. And the patrons ball also was like really poorly attended. And today, like after the Qual building opening, we went up to the top again, and all of the people going to that were getting in their cars and leaving. And there was some cars arriving, but like there was no one went to the charity concert because the doors opened at 6. The event starts at 7. By like 5:45, the last 2 days, the traffic was insane. People trying to get onto the property and parking. Like the car park was half empty. There was no one there. Like I don't know if they canceled the charity concert or whether just no one is going to it. But there were 150, 200 people max on site as the event was about to start.
You didn't hear the Jive Aces playing?
Well, I don't know if it was a recording or whether they actually were playing, but yes, we did hear some music and it was Jive Aces, but I couldn't see from where I was standing if it was just being played or whether they were on the stage. But this was for the Quoll building opening. Like the actual charity concert itself happens in the tent, and like there was just no one there. It just, I don't know if it was cancelled or whether it's just not happened or whether no one showed up, but it was poor attendance.
Maybe they didn't want to see any more SPs.
Yeah. Because there's meant to be like local dignitaries and mayors and like all these sorts of things.
Today it was supposed to be all of those guys. They probably rescheduled it. They probably rescheduled it when you aren't going to be there or something like that.
And I think the thing too, like they don't have a lot of support locally, despite what they want you to think.
No.
The locals that we talked to. So there was people in the pub a couple nights ago that were like, "Oh yeah, fuck those guys." But tonight, I saw some guys watching us, and there weren't that many people in the pub. I thought they might be waiting, right? And so I had my shirt buttoned up because it was cold, and I just unbuttoned it and kind of opened it up to reveal, the United Against Scientology. And the guy kind of looked at me and smirked. And I said, "Are you local?" And he goes, "Yeah." I said, "What do you think about Scientology?" And he goes, "Oh, I don't want to get involved in them," right? But like, it just people either don't want to get involved or they hate them. So I think it was probably very difficult to get local dignitaries and politicians to actually come to the event anyway.
I didn't speak to a single local person over the entire weekend who said, "I'm not a Scientologist, but yeah, they're okay. I'm not, they're all right. They haven't caused any trouble." Not one. Every single person had something negative to say about them.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, they're not making any friends really with their super high control tactics and money grubbing, I mean, if you gave them all your money, it wasn't enough. You need to give them their children, whatever else you got, your house, open up new lines of credit in 5,000 different ways and give them all that too. They're just money grubbing criminals, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is crazy. What else happened today? Did it rain?
It did rain a little bit.
Just a little bit though, only for like half an hour.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not bad.
I think overall it was an uneventful day in terms of the protest because we had a bigger turnout than we had 13 people there today, 15 yesterday, 46 on Friday. So again, a bigger turnout than I expected. And we just had a really big visual impact, I think, on the side of the road. But it was really uneventful in terms of there was no one showing up to the property. There were some big names that we saw. We saw Tom Cruise flying in on the helicopter. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I saw that.
He was,
what?
He was definitely there. And
to go donate more money?
This is why I think the charity concert must have been cancelled or rescheduled or something, because Tom Cruise is going to fly in. He's there to put on a big show for the local dignitaries, and they just didn't show up. So, and David Miscavige obviously isn't going to be there. Like, he will be there if Tom Cruise is there. There's no way I can't imagine a world in which Tom Cruise will be flying into St. Hill for an event and there's no COB.
No chance.
So why would COB not open the Quoll building if he's there? Tom Cruise is there. Like, it's clearly something has happened, and I'm looking forward to hearing out exactly what went down on the day.
I know.
But it was a major flap. And I've actually bought the domain name majorflap.com, and I'm going to be creating a little website with little videos of Janet Laveau's meltdown and so on.
Oh, I just have to show this real quick. Greetings from Dick Scobie Field. Well done, guys. Oh, that's awesome. Dick Scobie Field is in my little hometown of Auburn, Washington. And
amazing.
Because Dick Scobie was an astronaut that was killed in the Challenger that took off in '86, and so in my little hometown, there's a little school that's named after him and a little airport and stuff. And so somebody's out there, and saying hi from there. So that's what the NASA, and my brother also works for NASA.
Oh.
So
Oh, amazing! It's nice that you have that support as well, right? And that they wanted to remember him like that.
Yes, totally.
I think I want to hear your side of this. I'm going to share my favorite part of the day today.
Go on.
So there's two things all in the same period of time. I like to use Scientology against Scientology and against Scientologists. And so when I'm confronting these OSA people, and the one gentleman, the younger one, who I had most interaction with, was saying some stuff, and I just said, "I duplicate you utterly," which of course in Scientology is kind of like it's a acknowledgement that's on the list of acknowledgements for TR training.
It's in the tech film.
Yeah, and I just think that was hilarious. And then the other one shortly before that,
a long time.
The one before that was when they were talking about the property lines, and they're saying, no, this is our property, this is our property.
Oh my God.
And I said, no, Alex has the map. And he's like, this is our property, get off. And I said, if it's not written, it's not true.
Mm-hmm.
Which, of course, is like pure Scientology.
What are they going to say to that? You've got the map.
I didn't say anything.
I will tell you exactly what they said, because I just forgot. I just remembered what happened. I showed them the map on my phone, right? And I have HM Land Registry, right? His Majesty's Land Registry, which is like the thing that shows you where the property boundary is. And I pulled it up on my phone, and it says at the bottom, this is a verified copy download from the government website. And I showed them, and I was like, look, see, this is it. This is the property line, and this is where we are. This is fine. And the guy said, how do you know that wasn't Photoshop? Like, why should I trust you that you just pulled that up on your phone? How do I know that that's real? And I was like, because it literally says HM Land Registry, and it shows at the bottom it's a verified document. He was like, well, that could just be anything. You could have just made that up. I was like, are you actually insane? Oh,
it felt good.
You just created a yeah. That was smart. That was smart. I duplicate you utterly. Boy, I have not heard that.
Do you remember when you said like, "Oh, you're not flat on grade 0"? I thought you were meant to be able to communicate with me on anyone on any subject. Why don't you communicate with me?
I didn't even do grade 0, and I can communicate to them. So it's like, come on, just talk to me. And that's like, I will have a civil discussion if someone wants to.
Yeah,
you know, I don't have a problem with it. So
wow,
it was good times. What was your favorite part other than that, of course?
I think just like getting down there and seeing how shocked they were and surprised that we were A, there, and B, right outside their event, and just like the major flap, because there was a moment when they started, this is before you got there, they like were about to obviously start the event, because they said, I didn't hear what they said, but they said something like, you know, are you guys ready to start or something? And they started clapping, yeah, clap, 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 clap. And then I started shouting, and then it was a good few minutes before the event then started. So they obviously poured, and this is why I think maybe COB was there and they then changed the plans, because
you were ready to start.
I was ready to start. I was like, yeah, but I think that's why maybe COB was there and they put Erin on instead, because like it was about to start and then it didn't, because of us. And so that was probably my favorite bit, because they just clearly were just, what do we do here? Panic mode.
That was so smart of you to realize something was happening over there and to hightail it down there and get there in time to be able to cause such havoc. Get your word across, you know.
We were really lucky with timing, because like we saw it as we pulled in, and I was like, oh, it's either just starting or just finishing. I'll go down and have a look. And I saw that the ribbons were still attached to the rosette thing, and I was like, oh, it hasn't opened. This is my chance. So I was like running down and I was like, okay, this is my chance. And yeah, I think that was my favorite moment. You know, just catching them by surprise. David Miscavige is definitely a very angry little man this weekend because of what we did. And you know, again, I couldn't do this couldn't do this on my own. Like, it's not just me and Jeff, it's all of the people that showed up day after day in the cold and the wet and the rain. Like, the protesters that were with us were a really solid bunch. The 13 that we ended with were amazing. All people that were there for the whole weekend, right?
Yeah.
Obviously we had more on the Friday, that was expected to be less, but like these 13, 15 people like braved it, and most of them aren't ex-Scientologists. They're just people that are angry at how they treat people and what goes on behind those walls and behind those gates in East Grinstead. And for me, I just want to get that point across, that like, thank you for everyone that's saying well done and great job and all of that, but it literally, we couldn't do it without them, and having them there and that support physically made our voice louder and made us much stronger. And I just want to say thanks to everyone that showed up, because that was
absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
And there are
big
some
shout out.
Specific people that we should definitely shout out who really helped with the planning and transport. And that, of course, is Selena for driving us all 3 days. There and back in the horrendous rain one. Although, to be fair, she Selena really enjoys
she loves
driving in the crazy rain.
Yeah.
You know, who else do you want to?
Brad for doing
yeah, security.
he was our security guard for the weekend. He volunteered to be security for us. You know, Powell, who was there on the Friday, he was doing, you know, he was our first aider. You know, we did have a medical incident on the Friday and he dealt with that. And it was all fine. And it's just everyone, you know, like Martin Padfield showed up, Stephen Jones, like the fact that we had supporters, like long time SPs who've been doing this for years. It very much felt like the handing over of the baton almost of like, we've done this for years and we kind of one of them said to me, we kind of felt like we'd lost the public support in the UK because it's just kind of deflated. We've been doing it for years and nothing's happening. And like, it feels like they've kind of handed over that to this new generation of us. And like, we've reignited this big community of people through SPTV to come with us. And they didn't just come for one day. They stayed 3 days in the cold, wet mud to shout on the behalf of so many people around the world, inside Scientology, outside, who've been hurt by it, and the people that couldn't be there, you know, shouting, you know, where's Bob Ferris? You know, where's Bob Ferris? Where's Shelley Miscavige? The abuse has to stop. All of this messaging. For me, like, that was really powerful, that they felt so empowered and so felt like it was so important for them to help us get that message across. And that just goes to show for me, like, my faith in humanity is completely restored, you know?
Oh, this is happy. That's just wonderful. Yes. Yes. And much respect to every single person who stood out there and stood up against Scientology. So much respect. 3 days. Wow.
It was an emotional ending to the evening tonight as well. As people were sharing their stories. And I would say probably the most emotional would be Matthew Pritchard, who has been such an amazing person to talk to over the last 3 days about his experiences. And, you know, obviously he's done a lot of stuff in the past, but he was tearing up talking about how reinvigorated he is and how amazing it is to see this happening again and have this support. And I think that next year and the year after and the year after that, there's just going to be more and more and more people showing up. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, this is one of the things I said when we went to the pub afterwards, had a little debrief. I gave a little speech and I basically just said that, like, we pulled this off in 4 weeks, right? Next year, we know that the event will more than likely happen at the normal time at the beginning of October. That gives us a year to plan something really, really big. And we've already started looking at like what we can do, how we're going to do things differently. And like the plans have already begun for what we're going to do next. And it is just like, I'm not kidding when I say it, like, I'm just getting started. This is the beginning. And I think they have poked the bear and they didn't realize that they're poking a big, nasty bear that's going to, you know, take this fight on for the long term. It's not just a one-off stunt, right? For the press and all of that was great. And it was great to get it in the headlines and the Daily Mail and so on. But that's not, this is a long game. And, you know,
very much so. Very much so.
Fight, right?
Wonderful. Very much so. Yes. And that's wonderful to know because you're valuable, both of you, and everyone who, you know, made their voice heard, for sure. But yeah, you got mad skills and those, let's bring that to the table. It's amazing, you know, and we have a mission, and that is to expose the corrupt cult of Scientology and get their tax exempt status revoked because they abuse people and everything else that everyone knows about. That place is just so crappy. And David Miscavige should be in jail for what I know about, let alone what I don't know about, you know?
Yeah. I had a really interesting conversation with the police today of like, you know, we're just chatting at the beginning of the day. What have you never met a ginger? Yes, Andrea, you know it. But yeah, we're talking like, what is it that you're like, why are you protesting all of this? And I was like, well, look, I was in the, you know, I was on staff, I was locked in a room, I told I couldn't leave, and, you know, gave a bit of my story. I said, but the thing is, I haven't spoken to a local who isn't annoyed at the church. And the thing, like, David Miscavige is a named defendant in a number of lawsuits. One of them is human trafficking, another one is harassment, intimidation. Like, what gives him the right I said this the other day, to hop on a plane and jolly on over to the UK, stand in front of a couple of thousand people and raise a bunch of money for his organization that traffics people around the world and abuses them and hurts them and locks them in rooms, like, and then just swan on back on his private jet to the US and saying, oh yay, like I did a great job. Like, who do you think you are? We will not stand for this. And that is why I'm fighting. And I think the police at that point, you could see the change in his like demeanor. He was like, really? I'm like, yeah, I am not kidding you.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I am 100. This is not a joke. I'm not making this up. Human trafficking, right? He's been evading process servers. The police at that point, I could tell, were like, wow, okay. And that's when I knew they were kind of on our side, because the police are impartial. They're here to protect us, but also Scientology. They you know, want to uphold the rule of law. So they have to be fair and impartial. But I think they could tell from that point, like, their games that they're playing are because they're a vicious, nasty organization. It's not that they are genuinely offended by us. No, they just want us to stop because they are this attacking, horrible organization. And the police dealt with the whole thing differently after that, I think, in our favor.
So good. You contacted the right people, you kept the right people informed, you did the right procedures in order to have everything just be smooth. You had the right approach. I mean, the whole thing. I just, congratulations. I just got to say one more time. Might be more than one after this, but
you're done good, buddy.
Well, we all did.
You done good.
Like, it's not me, you know.
It's true, but you did organize it. You set the tone.
But like, that's what I mean. Like, I can't wait to see who else comes through for next year, because if this is what I can do, imagine how much better it'll be when we have a team of people organizing it. Like, how much better it'll be when we have multiple minds together, making this a bigger, like, louder event, right? If this is what I can do on my own in 4 weeks, we've got a year. Right, guys, if anyone's watching this and wants to help plan the next protest, get in touch with me. hello@apostatealex.com. Like, honestly, we want to get a team together and let's make this huge. Like, I'm thinking of like organizing a stage, right, and like closing the road properly. Like, you know what I mean? Like, these things are possible with time. It doesn't cost a lot of money to organize that sort of stuff. It's just time, and with time we can do better. So any ideas you have, anyone that wants to get involved, it's a year away. We've got time. Get in touch and let's make it the biggest IAS protest in history, right? Let's get all you guys to fly out and join us. You know, we can make this happen and really put 2024 on the map, you know?
If some random Canadian can come across the pond and do this.
Oh, we don't want you. No, we don't want you. No, we don't want you there.
You're not random. You're not random.
Well, I'm not anything like special. There's no reason why I did this and no one else can, is kind of what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, everyone and
I'm special, but you know.
Yeah, and let the anonymous guys wear your anonymous masks if you want to, you know, whatever.
Well,
you don't have to.
You know, here's the thing, right? Like, I don't think that anonymous masks make sense anymore. And in fact, the only people that were covering their faces this weekend
were OSA.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, no,
but some people want to make their voices heard, but they don't want their face in Scientology's cameras, you know.
Yeah. No, I realize.
So that's all I'm saying, because it does happen.
And I respect that completely. I just think that it's best if possible to show their face, because they use that against people. Yeah. Well, why aren't you showing your face? And it's just the way that they dig into people's insecurities, right?
Yeah,
which I hate.
But I think also just to note, it's like they're losing their power by the day, right?
My
People
God,
used to be scared of showing their face on the cameras near the property because, you know, they're going to come after me. Like, they are so small nowadays. They do not have the resource to go after every single one of the 46 people that showed up on Friday. They've only just started coming after me and Jeff. Like, they don't have the resources to come after the protesters, the power in numbers. If there are 100 people there next year, they don't have 100 people to like pay to follow those 100 people. Like, they just don't have that resource. So actually, I think it's more of a message of encouragement of like, you are safe in protesting Scientology now. In the past, maybe not, but now it's a different game and the risks are much lower. Unless you're someone like me, Jeff, or you, who are like going on YouTube and actively attacking them, just showing up, you know, at a protest is very, very minimal risk. Yeah, I think.
Right.
They don't have people to do it.
There's too much, you know, there's too many people. it's I say too many people. No, for them, for us, it's
Yeah.
amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it is not like it was in the earlier days where it was a few people and they could really just pour the bucks on just squashing the hell out of them, but we still stood up. We still stood up. Not a lot of, some people didn't, but some of us still stood up, and it's not easy. And I've always had to work for myself pretty much, because of the different things that they do and whatever. But I tell everybody that I come into contact with that I oppose Scientology, and I've spoken out. I've spoken to the FBI. I've written a book. I've done international news, blah blah blah, all this stuff, so that they know and they're prepared. If anyone says anything, where it's coming from.
And
Anyway.
because of you, we can do this with less fear.
Yeah.
So,
Right. By a lot of us, and
of course.
And I'm so proud to be part of that team. That's for sure.
Yeah, you are a hero for sure.
You
It's
are a
true.
hero too.
It is.
We're massively fangirling over here.
Oh my God. It's hard. I feel embarrassed, but because, well, honestly, I feel like God's put me on this path to expose the evil and shine a light into this darkness. So there you go. That's my purpose and mission.
We literally did that. We had bright lights. I had really big bright lights that we were shining at our signs, like literally shining a light on their evil. It's exactly what we did.
Oh, and on that note, so the ninja guy, like you guys saw the road. It was dark. Yeah. Like there's no lights around. And he was stood about 75 feet away, something like that. Yeah. Just standing there watching us. And as we're packing up and cleaning up and making sure all the garbage is picked up with our lights, we all walked by with our lights, and we shone them on him and said, "Have a good night. We're going to go to the car park now." And of course he followed us, and we stopped and made sure he had time to take the number plate down and get pictures and everything. Right.
Of course,
and we're yelling at him, "Have a good night. Have a good night."
We literally pulled over before we went out of the car park, and we stopped. We're like, "This is the number plate. Do you want to hold on? Have you taken a picture?" And we read it out loud. Have a good night, guys. Is that enough time? Okay, great. See you later, mate. Have a good one. Like playing games like that. It's good fun.
Totally. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, do you have anything else? Otherwise, we built up some.
Let's do the questions. Yeah, let's go through them. Do you want to bring them up, Amy, and then we'll read
Sure, I'll bring them up, and then let me go over here.
Okay. So, Marinex Scientologist, Andrea, go on.
My lovely wife. Agreed. Definitely look like a spicier day. Yes, yeah. I'd say a level 4 or 5 spice today for sure.
Level 4 or 5 spice, yeah. Donna Rose, thank you for the super chat. It will be amazing to see the future effects. Yeah, this is what I think I'm most excited about next, is like to see how they respond to this, shit storm of a weekend that has just happened. Excuse my French, right? Like this is a major flat. There is no way David Miscavige is going to walk away from this and not do something or make other people do something about this whole flap of a weekend.
Absolutely.
So I am so excited to see what happens next, whether it's hate sites, PI, like what they're going to do to go on the attack, because Scientology never just take it and then don't comment. They will now come back and go on the full attack. So I'm ready.
That's the policy, attack, never defend, always attack. They're going to be drawing up an Alex program.
Yeah. If they have
I want one too.
You'll get one. Yep. You'll get one too.
It'll be the A to J program.
The A to J program.
The A to J. Alex,
that's beautiful.
Perfect. That's what we're going to call it.
That is amazing.
Oh, man. Here you go.
Parallel Jen, thank you for the super chat. Congratulations, Alex and Jeff. It was a great addition. Go Power Thetans. We were screaming that from the top of our lungs today. That was so fun. Oh my God. And another highlight, I just thought.
Here we go.
The megaphone that I had a little siren button, and I found out.
Uh-oh.
What was it I was saying? I was going, oh yeah, SP alert, SP alert, whoop, whoop, SP alert, whoop, whoop.
Oh, it's great.
Oh, just being totally obnoxious. That's awesome.
Yeah. Mary Gabrielle Southers, thank you so much for the support for the super sticker. Obi O'Brien, thank you. Alex, loved your short. I am very short, and I love my shortness too. Thank you. I'm joking. Thank you so much. Thank you. Go on.
I wonder how many were there. I think so. I'm assuming you're talking about the Scientologists who were there.
Yeah.
I think on Friday we probably guessed between 2,000 and 3,000, and then but like on the
I think
other
2,000.
Okay, it's fine.
Yeah,
2,000.
I think 2,000.
There was quite a few empty coaches, although it is sometimes hard to tell. And obviously, with cars coming both directions, it's hard to tell. But honestly, there weren't that many people. Certainly less. So the gentleman who Alex spoke to, there was less people there than in 1984. Was that right? And there weren't that many there in 1984. So not a lot, and significantly less for the next 2 days.
So,
maybe 500 to 700 for yesterday, and a couple hundred today, max.
Wow, just petered out to nothing.
Yeah.
Just petered out.
The thing is, with the Qual building today, it was outside, so I could see everybody.
There was no hiding.
I'm going to do a manual head count, but I reckon 150, 200.
Yeah, it didn't look like that many.
Yeah.
And judging by, you missed one thing. So judging by the applause, that they were playing over the speaker. Like it was fake applause. There were so few people that they were actually playing, like clapping over the speakers.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, there weren't that many people.
Yeah.
I wonder if they record things like, "Oh, David, you're so great.
You're so tall, David."
Yes.
I have loved protesting with you guys. Thank you for what you do, Brad. Amy, I love you.
Oh yeah, Brad. So this is Brad. He's up in our security for the weekend, and he wanted us to tell you personally that he loves you so much.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
he's a massive fan of yours.
Much love to you too, Brad. That's so nice of you.
Hip hip hooray! Scientology was scared today. Thank you for allowing me to join you on the picket line. Good to meet you all. I can't wait for the next one. Is Mark. The Dorset SP.
Mark was great. And just to give you an idea, like the people that came weren't just locals. Like there are people like Mark, Dorset. That's like a 2-hour drive to St. Hill. And he did it every day to come and join us. Like this is what I mean about the community that joined us. They were just as invigorated and passionate as we were. And they've not had a Scientology experience. And that just shows how evil the organization actually is. That people who are never in are just as equally appalled and shocked at their atrocious behavior that they want to come and speak out. So yeah, Mark was great. Thank you for joining us, Mark, and let's do it again soon.
Yes,
that's awesome.
Freezini Project of Farsec. Hey, comment. I loved how Jeff outtoned 40 the Osa guy.
I did, and I felt super powerful for it. So that was great.
He's learning new words.
SP Chef, thank you so much. Love from Switzerland. Love that. Not a sheeple. Thank you for the super chat. This is one for you, actually.
Jeff was having some very calm and rational conversations most of the time. And I would not be surprised if the people who are rewatching the footage will have some aha moments. Aha, he is right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
That's a good point. Yeah. You had some really good conversations.
That is the thing. Like everything, they're going to be watching my video. They're watching your video. They're going to be dissecting it, rewatching. And so it's just going to be constant messaging.
Hi, Liz.
Hey, Liz.
Hi, Liz.
Hey, Amy. I miss you. Liz, I just wanted to say as well, like, I think I said this yesterday, but I just want to reiterate, like, we were shouting for you as well. Like, we want to help you find your dad. And like I said yesterday, you never know. All it takes is one person that was at St. Hill who knows your dad to hear our message, and you never know where that's going to lead. So we were shouting today, where's Bob Ferris? Say Bob Ferris. We did it yesterday. We did it on Friday. Like, we are trying to shout as much as we can for you as well. Like, we're united in this fight, and we're standing side by side with you, even though you're on the other side of the world. We're right there, and we're trying to help as much as we can.
Beautiful.
Tarkina Maya, to Alex's point, those never-ins that came out to support you prove that everything that Scientology is saying about that's a really offensive word in the UK, world is a lie. We are compassionate and caring and want to actually help the world be a better place. 100%. Thank you for the super chat. It's so true. Like, Scientology claim they're helping the world be a better place, but actually they're doing the complete opposite. And the people who are out of Scientology are the ones doing what they're trying to do, which is, make a nice community and being compassionate and help people and all of that stuff that they just don't do.
What's that word? Loving people.
Love.
That's right.
That's that word. What the hell does that mean?
It's a foreign word.
Unconditional love.
That doesn't exist in Scientology.
No, there's no love in Scientology. None.
Old Nan, thank you for the super chat. Motivation of never beens is critical to help get changes made with governmental agencies and the courts. So great that you got buy-in from this group. Yeah. Another thing as well is whenever there was traffic going past, I heard you say this a lot, like locals that were really angry at the traffic being so bad. Oh, we were definitely chanting, look, David Miscavige comes to town and just creates Dev T, because literally they'll develop traffic on the roads. And you were shouting at the people in the cars, like, if you are angry at this, this is the Church of Scientology. Complain to the council, complain to the police, because you're the locals being affected by this. And this is their doing. So we're trying to get as much buy-in as we can from the locals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on, all yours.
I would love to chat as trauma therapist to former Scientologist protesters about why your communication will be heard. Amazed with Jeff and Alex. And that's from Kirsten Nelson. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Send us an email.
Wow.
Like, we're always happy to
Yeah.
talk.
I will talk to anybody. Just send me an email if you're having issues.
Yeah.
Just want to say hi. I am ptsforlife@gmail.com. It's in all my videos. It's on my description. So
I would recommend giving us a day or two for our voices to recover, though, because I don't know how much talking I'm going to be able to do tomorrow. But
yeah,
but absolutely after that, we're more than happy to.
Yeah.
And I would love to see, this person is a trauma specialist.
Yes.
So they're asking, yes, so would I. You know, if you want, you can send me an email, amy@scoby-publishing.com.
Yeah.
Kristen, thank you. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay.
All righty. Anna McLaren, thank you for the super sticker or super chat. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
What? Tarkinian Meyer gifted 10 Amy Scobie memberships. Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tarkina. That's
Amy, do you want to plug
amazing.
your memberships again, like you did yesterday,
Yeah.
just so people know why they should do it?
Just plug it, you know, go ahead and join my channel. I don't do exclusive things because everybody's included, but if you join my channel, sometimes you get things a little early. And there's fun emojis that you can use that I have on there that I uploaded today. I did some yesterday, and I fixed my beehive so that it's more clear, because when I put it up there, I was like, man, you can't even see this thing. It's so small. Anyway, so it's fixed now. But anyway, so yeah, that's wonderful. I really appreciate that, Tarkina. Thank you. And also you guys' channel.
Yeah, thank you.
Diana O, keep up the good work. Thank you very much. We will, I promise you.
Lori Piquet.
Oh, yes. Lori, Jeff, let's get a plane of Canadian SPs next year to come together. Absolutely. I will be here next year. Hi, Andrea. I'm going to come over again next year.
I love you're letting your wife go through a live stream.
Oh, wait. Let me back up. Hey, Andrea, do you want to go to Europe next year? No, I will definitely be back here. I'm hoping that Andrea can join me. We do have our pup to attend to, of course, but I'm sure by then we'll have that figured out. And I would love to just come together. We could all get seats together. We could plan on the plane. So reach out to me if you want to plan that with me.
That'd be awesome.
Yep.
That's fun.
Oz Brumby, thank you for the super chat. Could you do pie face masks for next year, lol? Yeah, that'd be quite fun.
They're way too sad. They're way too sad. We had posters in our office that David Miscavige put up of pie faces, and you just look at this thing and it's just like, anyway, because nothing you said, if you said something good, it wasn't good enough. If you said something, but whatever, anything that you said was not good enough for that guy.
Yeah,
it's terrible working for somebody like that, I can tell you.
Yeah.
Ruth W.
Oh, Ruth. Hi, Ruth. We love Ruth. She was on my channel the other day, actually. She's a former Scientologist. She's lovely.
Oh, she knew you were a champ.
Ah,
yay, everyone, and thanks, Amy, for the recap. Yes, thank you, Amy.
Yes,
we love talking.
Oh, it's you guys. I just popped on here because I wanted to hear with everybody else. I saw your interview with Ruth, by the way, and I thought that was wonderful. Yeah.
We're going to do a part 2. Like the first one was just about the IAS because it was relevant. We are totally going to revisit and like tell her story from start to finish because she hasn't done that before, I don't think. So the first one was just she knew loads of IAS stuff is relevant. I can't wait to let her voice be heard, and get people to hear her story as well. So that's going to come out in the next couple of weeks.
Yes, and what she did cover already was
Mm.
really amazing, fantastic.
Ingrid Reeves, thank you so much for super chat. Ginger twin powers activate. Well done, guys, and thank you, Amy, for all the work you do as well. You are beautiful. Cheers and love from Maine, USA.
Thank you, Ingrid.
Thank you.
Yes,
cheers.
Powers all the time.
There's a lot of ginger SPs, isn't there? There's
There
me,
is.
There's you. There's like Liz Gale, Claire Headley.
Yep.
It must be a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. My hair is a little bit red.
It's kind of strawberry blonde, isn't it?
You can be an honorary ginger SP.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cat ACDC fan. Great interview, Amy, and you look marvelous.
Oh, okay, good. Yes, I'm your interviewee. Thank you so much.
Teresa Guerrero. It is so cool to see people from different countries banding together against Scientology. Banding together to ban Scientology?
Yeah.
That's another way to
love
put
it.
Yeah.
Wow, banding together to ban Scientology. Banding together to ban Scientology. That's going to be
there's a shirt right there.
Banding together.
Thank you very much, Teresa. That was the inspiration.
Ban Scientology. Yeah.
There was some great little chants that came through the chat today. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, disconnection out the door. Like there were some really good chants that people came up with. So thank you for giving us those.
Wonderful. Yes, we did understand that.
Yes, we know. I was just
No, we're going to say banding. Banding together.
But I like that, like banning together. Like it sounds cool because of the banning, right? Banning.
Yes.
Scientology together. Yeah. No, we like it. Well, Nuts and Board, thank you for super chat. Freaking love you guys. Thank you for all you do. Well, thank you for supporting us.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome.
Lucy Victoria, lovely. Question. Are you sure they won't find a new location for their event next year's? Maybe switch location every year?
No
the
chance.
short answer is no. The IAS was founded at St. Hill in the United Kingdom. It is the home of L. Ron Hubbard. It is their UK headquarters. They have held IAS events in the past at different locations. Mike Grinder was saying there was a time it was in, was it France or something or somewhere? There's a couple that they did very early on in different countries, but it's always been in the UK. And if they were to do it in a different location, it would have to be Clearwater or LA. And I think that would just be weird. And they'd have to have a real good reason as to why they're doing the IES event not at St. Hill, because it's so linked to St. Hill.
It would have to be at a secure location that's big enough to hold as many people. And honestly, I don't like the way the IAS event is. It's a huge tent, and it's traditional. So they would be changing so much, and I think it would draw way too much attention. They have to come up with like you said, a really good reason.
I think if they were
they'll have it on the free wins or something like that. Yeah. That's where David Miscavige usually goes.
I think if they were going to do that, they would have had to have done it this year, because it's the one time they have an excuse of, we're doing things differently now. We haven't done this for 4 years, and now this is the new IAS event. I think because they've done the St. Hill one this year, they'd have a hard time justifying a major change next year. I think they missed their opportunity to majorly change things up. And I guess that's because they realized we were going to be there.
Right, yeah.
We announced it. We announced our protest before they even booked security to work at the IES event. Security were booked to work 3 weeks beforehand, and we protested the day it was announced 4 weeks ago.
Right. Oh my gosh.
And just for the record,
yep.
Right, no matter where it ends up being, if they do change it, we'll be there too. So it's
absolutely.
kind of pointless.
Including the free wins.
Yeah.
I will go. I'll be on a little dinghy outside, screaming my lungs off.
Little flags going around the ship.
Yeah, we'll just circle the boat.
Yeah,
there would be like true power Thetans. So you could just go in circles around about like go power Thetan.
I just noticed the watchers was 1,777. I thought, wow, that's fun.
Wow, amazing.
Yes.
Free Your Mind. Great name. I love that. Thank you for the super chat. Would you consider making social sharing images of some of those signs? The messages on them are so Powerful. Thank you. Yes,
They are
all available. If you go to iasprotest.com, if you scroll down, there's a little section that says protest banners or something like that. Click on that and you can download all the banners. There's like JPEGs, PDFs, and there's social graphics that I created as well. And I'm going to, in the next couple of days, upload some of the pictures that the press took, because as well as the ones that are featured in the Daily Mail, AFP, which is one of the largest, Getty Images kind of, Associated Press news photo organizations, they were there all 2 of the 3 days. They weren't there today, but there are some great professional press shots. And so we'll upload all of those, and obviously the ones we got on our phones as well. So yeah, please do share the message. Thank you. Cat ACDC fan, you guys did an awesome job. Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Matt Elliott, MAA, SPTV Canada, Master at Arms. Nice question. How much trouble do you think the security guys they hired are in because they were nice to you? Do you know if they ever worked for them in the past? So yes, they have worked for them for at least 10 years.
Yeah.
No kidding.
The original guy, the main boss who was there on Friday, Big Mike, is the most amazing person you will ever meet. He is so kind and compassionate. The stories that we've heard about him when he's reacting to people who are overacting and or acting badly are amazing. He is truly an amazing person who can control people properly with true love and just wants to get shit done. They're not in trouble. The fact is, the only reason that they have all this private security is because the council and the police insist it happens because they kept causing issues with protests in the past. So this is mandatory. They're a private company, and they will be back next year and the year after, and I look forward to it because they were my favorite experiences actually of the weekend. Was them making little snickering comments about oh that was kind of a weird reaction, and telling off Janet Laveau, and it's great. They got our back because we're as long as you're within the law, they'll have your back.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like they are working for Scientology, but Big Mike, who's the owner of the company, was saying to me on Friday, like a lot of the things that he says to them, like Janet Laveau will come up and be like, "Why aren't you doing this? You need to do this, blah blah." And he will say back to her, "Look, it's not me. It's the law, right? They are not doing anything illegal. I know you don't like it, but I can't go off of the property and tell them to move to a different part of, because they're on public land. So even if you were to hire a different private security company, they still wouldn't be able to do anything. Like he was saying half of his job was telling Scientology that they can't do half the stuff they wanted to. And so they're not in trouble. They've worked with them for years. They get that relationship. And I don't think that's going to change. They have a really good relationship. These security are just really nice guys, and especially the security guy Gaz, who was following me the whole time. I was like, today it was like we had a good laugh, and we could joke around. And I was like, I know you're following me, and I'm like, I know it's really boring because I've not tried to jump the fence or anything. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. They've got a job to do, and we're trying to do our thing too. So
yeah, they're getting paid for a job. I'm glad that they don't get all weird when Scientology pressures them to do weird stuff, because they do. So I'm glad that they hold their own on that. That's good.
Hey, Gabriel, how you doing? It's Gabriel. We love Gabe.
This is a good one.
It was very strange to be on the other side watching. The last protest, I was on the dark side against Anonymous.
It does feel differently, Gabe, and I really hope the next year you can join us, because I tell you what, it is so cathartic to confront these people. And because I've run across a lot of protesters in the past in Scientology, from the side that you're talking about, the dark side, and I get it now. I get why they're so animated and why they're so insistent on telling their message. It feels really good, and it's important to do what you can to stop Scientology. So I do hope that we can get you over here next year.
Yeah.
Buckled up, Buttercup. Jeff's color commentary was terrific. Alex, great job all around. Flap, flap, flap.
Flappy McFlapface. That's my new nickname.
Flappy McFlapface. That's amazing. Yeah.
Orbit Snoogs Laghouse, thank you for the super chat. Great work, guys. Alex, your buddy looks like James Hetfield from Metallica.
Yeah, Metallica.
Okay. I've heard that multiple times. I don't see it, but apparently people do.
I can see it.
Data law. Well done, guys. You all did a fantastic job this weekend. Made their life difficult.
Yeah.
That we definitely did.
Yeah. Can you imagine
Yeah.
how smooth their event would have been without us?
Exactly.
That would have been horrible.
Wow.
Oz Brumby, thank you for the super chat. SPTV, own the pie. Oh, that's a clip I'm going to put out later, right? There was a person yesterday who was leaving the event, walking down the road, and I was streaming, and I said, say hello to SPTV, and she looked around and just went, woo! And smiled. So
I did see that. Yeah. That's funny.
JK in Toronto, thanks for the coverage.
Toronto.
Thank you for the super chat and the support.
Yes.
Matt, here he is, our homeboy, Matthew Pritchard, on way the coach home from the IAS protest. Big Mike and his team are great. Had such a great weekend. Thank you for everyone who turned up. Yeah, and again, we said it earlier, Matt, thank you for helping us, for being part of the team, for being a trooper, and for continuing the fight, even though you have done so. Like, Matt's done some Scientology courses before, and he has had a little bit of involvement, but he wasn't on staff or anything. But it was enough for him to still be like fired up and fueled in this fight, you know, to speak and have a voice for the people who don't and who can't. And it's people like Matt that really show that, you know, it's important that people who do have a voice use it. And thank you for all of your help, Matt.
Yeah, you're a lovely human being.
Yeah.
Very fantastic.
Yeah.
Jill Harrison, great question.
I am. It's
No
although my voice has been getting a little bit British. Every now and then I find myself when I'm chanting pip, 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 cheerio. I mean, I guess you can't really say that without a British accent. It just kind of happens, right? But I am Canadian. I'll go back to normal once I'm back in Canada. So. Thanks,
And it was so funny, like, so how British of you to say, David Miscavige just trotted over here to England. And
yeah,
then
that's what I was thinking.
Then he swan back. Oh boy.
I don't even realize these things sometimes. I don't even realize what I'm saying. Eyes2C33, thank you for the super chat. I keep getting unsubscribed from all your YouTube channels. Can we stop this? Well, that's a Google thing. I hope, you know, anyone watching this, please do subscribe to Apostate Alex, to PTS for Life, to Queen BSP, Amy Scobie. You know, we're a big community here. We're nice people. I hope you think we're lovely. We're just sharing our experiences and other people's, and we're just trying to do the right thing and trying to help people. So if you are already subscribed, just double check, because sometimes they do unsubscribe you, and, you know, just give us a little thing and make sure you turn the bell notification on so that you get your SP alerts every time we go live.
And
I don't know why that's happening. We did hear that was happening, that suddenly, you know, people are unsubscribed, but so don't know.
When I do get to 10,000 subs, which admittedly is a ways away, I'm just under about 3,500 now. I am going to do a live stream outside my local org for just a full couple hours, and I'll just sit there, and my plan will be to try and interview people who are going in for staff or course. Thing is, I know a bunch of them. And so I think it'll be harder for them to say no. At least it'll be entertaining. And I'm also going to plan to interview random people walking by to see what they know about Scientology and maybe try and spread some truth. So, yeah. So subscribe.
Yeah. Subscribe. PTS for Life. I love your handle. You got that beautiful handle. That's awesome.
Lizzle Green, question. What does I duplicate you completely mean?
Yeah, so it's kind of, so it's from a tech film. I duplicate you utterly is actually what it is. But it's kind of it's snarky. It's almost like it's a way of saying F you. Or shut up or something like that. It's not really meant to be that way, but no one talks like that. I duplicate your calm utterly.
Yeah. It's meant to mean, you know, like I get it, I understand. Yeah. Like I completely understand what you're saying, but it's kind of said in, like you said, a snarky way.
Yeah, it's like stop talking. I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
It's actually, I just wrote it down because I should look it up. Duplicate means to copy something. In Scientology, duplicate means to understand something. So you would say, I duplicate you utterly.
I duplicate you utterly.
That's what Scientology is about. It's about copying. It's making you a
Yeah.
robot, like following
Total
their
robot.
programming. Like they want you to not think for yourself and understand. They want you to copy what they're doing or what they want you to do. They make you a robot.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
literally what it is.
And so I was saying
Yeah.
it kind of in a cheeky manner, being a bit of a joker and degrader, one would say.
You and your J&D, Jeff.
Yes.
Salty Beach Girl Lori, thank you very much. My ginger SP superheroes jumping up and down today. You know what? We've been jumping up and down since we got off the protest line. So it's been a good weekend.
Yeah.
Tazzy Devil, thank you very much. Thumbnails of the posters for Insta, Facebook, and Twitter would be great. Post them on your website. Yeah, so IASprotest.com.
Yeah.
You can get all the imagery that you need for that.
Yes.
And I'll
That's
share them
awesome.
as well. Like I'll put them on the community tel, and I'll send them to you guys on email so you've got a copy so that if anyone asks them, we can get them that way.
Yep.
Yeah.
And thank you for the super chat. What will you do if the event is moved to the USA? You all did such a good job, and they reckon with you from now. Well, I will have a very quick and very short answer to this. If it's moved to the USA, we also will move our protest to the USA. Simple.
And to be fair, that would be a massive mistake because
there's
way more people over there.
More SPs in the States than there are in the UK. So that would be the worst thing for them. But no, we will just move our protest to wherever their event goes. No problem.
Unless it's on the free wins, we will be there. So don't wait. Maybe we should edit that.
No, we'll do it even after the free wins. We'll stand on the dock in Aruba.
We could rent a helicopter. Just fly over the ship.
Yeah, it could drop off cards from the top.
That's amazing.
A bunch of little bee helicopters all over them.
Oh my god, yeah. We could do little drones and like dress them up as like bees. That'll be so fun. Carrie, go on.
Carrie, thank you very much. I wish some of the protests were closer to me. Looks like so much fun. It is fun. And frankly, there's nothing stopping you from organizing a protest. It's not something that has to be even planned long in advance. You get a few friends together, make some signs or print out some that Alex has. It wasn't expensive to get those built, printed up, right? A few $100 sort of thing for a lot of them. And you could just make your own sign and just go stand out there. Just make sure there are messages of compassion and understanding, so we're not just upsetting people and making them shut down immediately.
Yeah,
I loved your big long sign that you put up next to Welcome to St. Hill.
Yeah. And also today, I don't know if there's any good pictures of it. I'll have a look later. But they have this big Welcome to St. Hill banner. So someone got cable ties today, and we just put it up right next to it, which we hadn't done before. That was quite fun.
That's what I'm saying. I saw that picture and I said, "Oh my God, Welcome to St. Hill," And then there's your sign.
Welcome to St. Hill, the abuse must stop. Love it. Like we're just having fun with it. But one thing I did want to just say very briefly on that local thing is I'm not going to say too much right now because it's very early days. But that's one question we had a lot from people who wanted to come that couldn't travel halfway up the country and so on. Like I'm working on something that can bring the orgs much more, bring the protest more locally. There's orgs all over the country, there's orgs all over the world, and let's try and figure out a way of getting more people involved in lots of different locations. And that's all I'll say for now, but keep an eye on the channel for that. Dragon Mad, thank you for the question. Has Stephen Jones got a YouTube channel? Yes, he does. I don't know if he wants to share publicly the name of it because I know that the name isn't his name, but he does have a YouTube channel and he does have videos up there. He hasn't posted in a couple of years because he's not like a SPTV creator or whatever. But there are videos up there with him in it that he has featured in and uploaded. So you can find it. If you just search Stephen Jones Scientology, you'll find lots of videos that he's been involved in.
Yeah.
Good.
Joe DeSeppo. Hey, Joe, how's it going? Question. This Aaron Banks, is this the Brexit funding bloke or just the same name? No, so it's Erin Banks. So Erin Banks is a spokesperson. She's a female for Scientology. She's appeared in a couple of videos and documentaries and interviews. She's on the website as an official Scientology spokesperson. You okay, buddy?
Oh yeah, my throat's so screwed.
Yeah, official spokesperson. And so she was there today. So no, it's not the same person, Jay.
Okay, good. I don't know what that means.
Data Law, thank you for the super chat. BOTG Alex.
We can make something up. What could it be?
Big operating Thetan Ginger.
There you go.
Oh, that's funny.
Thank you, whatever that means.
Yes, and then a couple new
wow.
YouTube
Nice.
members, probably from the one that was gifted
Thank
by
you.
Tarkina Meyer. And then there's more that I haven't. Sorry, I keep unclicking, but there we go.
Yeah, so the best answer for that, and actually the most ideal way to support us in a financial manner is going to be buying us a coffee, or we do each have direct PayPal links. You can find both of those in our descriptions, but they are the best way in that, like YouTube will take 30% cut on any super chats, whereas these other ones I think are like 3 or 4 or 5%. So yes, and any support is obviously very much appreciated. But the most important thing you can do is to like, subscribe, share, and get the word out, because the more people we have watching our videos, the more people we reach, and the more we can bring down Scientology.
Yeah.
Well
And
said.
everybody,
Oh, thank you.
everybody.
I duplicate you utterly.
Oh, thank you.
I duplicate
Sorry,
you
lady.
utterly. And if you're look down, and if you haven't liked the videos, like them, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to all 3 of our channels.
It's really important. And
this
also,
person says, go ahead.
And also another thing that helps the algorithm and spread out our videos and shorts and so forth is by in one watching session, watching more than one video. YouTube basically likes it when people stay on longer. And so if you're on our channel longer, it lets the robots know that we're doing a good job.
Yeah. Plus, we're so interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
And says, question. Amy, stop worrying about the videos in your swimsuit.
You know what? I didn't even know you had them. So
I don't have them. They have them. They have a dumb,
you know what
stupid
I'm
hate
saying?
website.
I didn't know those existed. And frankly,
I
mean, obviously I'm biased, but I don't pay attention to anything that Scientology does as far as trying to bash people. So
yeah, good.
Cool.
Oh, South Carolina. I don't think there's anything there, Julie. I really don't. I mean,
like
when I was there, they didn't have anything, and I'm sure they haven't opened something there, So yeah, you probably are pretty safe around there.
Yeah.
Love Sherlock. Question: did you say there was a drone? Yeah, there were 3 drones. Yeah, they used drones for filming. One of them was probably filming the event. The other 2, I'm pretty sure, were filming us. They were flying around. It's a restricted airspace. So the question I now have is whether they had the required licenses to fly the drones, especially considering, and I know a lot about this because I've got a friend who's a drone pilot. We went to St. Hill a couple of weeks ago. If there is an event with lots of people, you cannot fly a drone over the crowd of people unless you have a very specific license, because it's a danger. Because what if it crashes or something like this and it's over a crowd of people? So you have to have a very specific accreditation to be able to do that. They were doing that today. And so now the question becomes whether they were doing that legally or not. And this is just one of the number of things that I'm going to be taking away from this weekend and working on behind the scenes. There was a planning officer that joined us in the protest today, not for Sussex Council, for a different one, who just was very helpful in pointing out Scientology's multiple planning regulation, breaches, things that they've done wrong. For example, signage. If you want to erect a sign that's more than 1 meter high, you have to get a license to do that. You have to apply for it. And there has to be certain restrictions in place about how far away from the road it is. They had a huge banner, "Welcome to St. Hill." And I didn't see any planning application for that. So these are the sorts of things I'm going to look into now the event's over, because they totally breached. That's what I was looking for. Breaches of the planning regulations.
Well, and they didn't even let the council know the event was happening.
No, I told them.
Yeah,
I told the council their event was going on.
Anyway, you're so in tune with the world, and they're not. So that's awesome. Yeah. So here I've got a couple. Here's one.
Hey, Osa, look up the Aftermath Foundation. It's for you as well. Look, the highlight for me was someone from Osa taking the Aftermath card, putting it in his pocket. Like, even if he looks at it and throws it in the bin, now he knows it exists, and he knows that there's a number in the UK. He knows that we have a presence here. Like we as a community are all here to like support each and every person that wants to come out and wants to leave. So like the fact that the Aftermath has a number and a presence here and volunteers, they know that that's a thing now, and that's that's all that matters, even if they don't keep the card.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. Laura Wheatland, question: all the Scientologists that attended witnessed your presence there, so it will be interesting what they see when they see the video. They can't pull wool over their eyes.
Yeah. And I think the greatest thing, and this is probably the most joy I've gotten, is as Scientologists were going into the event, this is Captain Davey, and he was dancing a lot. And I just know that an hour later, when they're standing there or sitting there watching David Miscavige give his speech in front of that podium, they just see him dancing in their minds.
Yeah,
guaranteed. So I just take a lot of joy in that.
Absolutely.
Those are the starred questions.
That's it.
Boy.
That's it. I'm going to go and give my voice a rest and have a hot chocolate, I think.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
I'm going to eat about a whole package of lozenges and not talk for 2 days.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Amy,
you guys get your
much.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. And get your very, very deserved rest and relaxation. And you still have some time there in UK, Jeff, so you can, see the sights a little bit. That's wonderful.
Yeah, we've already been out to see some, but I've got a few more on the list, and we got some plans for the week, so it'll be good. Now we can relax.
Fantastic.
And I think the fun is only just beginning, because if we are ever going to get followed, it's going to be this coming week. So
I hope they like sightseeing.
Yeah, we're going to go do some fun stuff for sure. But look, Amy, thank you so much for doing this with us, and everyone that's watching, thank you so much for supporting us and for listening to us yap on for almost 2 hours about this stuff. It probably sounds I'm saying all this thinking, God, like this sounds so boring. Like, why are they interested in it? But it's not. Like it's important information, and the number of viewers we've had for this whole stream just shows that there's that support there. And thank you to everyone that's helped us do this, everyone that took part, and everyone that allowed us to do this by all of the activism work that happened beforehand, like yourself, Amy. So thank you, and thank you for being part of this community. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yes.
You are amazing, Amy. Thank you. And for everyone watching,
love Amy.
We love you.
Love everybody.
Yeah, I look forward to the next live and all that stuff. Have a good night.
Yes.
We'll see you soon, guys. Thank you.